Gojo vs Sukuna, the battle we have been waiting for since chapter 1. And it somehow managed to disappoint on every level. Stick around, because I'm about to break down exactly why this fight didn't deliver. Reason 1. The sudden turnaround. There were no signs that Gojo was losing. In fact, the opposite was true. Sukuna felt nervous for the first time in 1,000 years. Gojo even outplayed Sukuna multiple times, and at one point, he was essentially fighting 1v3. To top it off, by the end of this chapter, Sukuna looked battered, and the narrator outright stated that Gojo had won. But then, the next chapter kicks off with the flashback, and bam! Gojo suddenly cut in half. No explanation, no warning, just snip. When I was reading this, I honestly thought I'd skip the chapter. But nope, that's just how it was. There's not a single panel explaining how Gojo went from winning with complete dominance to being sliced in two. It's a cheap cop-out with zero build-up, making the entire fight feel kind of pointless. Reason 2. Weird power scaling and timing. Maharoga Slash, basically a reworked version of Cleave, appeared with no clear indication that it was anything new. Even Gojo Satoru, with his 6 eyes, couldn't notice anything different. Yet Sukuna knew exactly what it was and could use it himself. We didn't get any hints, no dialogue, nothing. So when you tell us that this slash actually cut through space and time, it's not gonna be very convincing. And also, what makes this slash so different that it bypasses infinity and seems 10 or even 100 times stronger than Sukuna's other slashes? We saw Gojo tank multiple Sukuna slashes within his domain to replenish his city. But this one was a one-shot kill? Additionally, Sukuna's timing is off. He could have used the space-cutting slash earlier when Gojo was vulnerable, but instead waited and relied on Maharoga. This weakens the plot and feels more like a retcon than a planned move. Lastly, Gojo was offscreened, so we don't even know how this ability landed. To me, it feels like Gojo just stood there like an idiot and took the hit. I mean, Maki and rank 1 boy dodged it. Maki could sense the CT and dodged it, but Gojo with his 6 eyes couldn't?
This is dumb.
Reason 3. Destroying Gojo's character. Gege destroyed the very essence of Gojo's character, his purpose, mentality and concept, and reduced him to a mere plot device to hype up Sukuna. Gojo is an arrogant, narcissistic brat who would literally rather die than admit someone is stronger than him. He would have said that Sukuna only beat him because of Megumi's technique, his student's technique. Instead, Gege made Gojo an unreliable narrator, having him claim that Sukuna was stronger and never gave his all, even suggesting Sukuna could have beaten him without the 10 Shadow technique. Whether or not that's true, it's completely out of character for Gojo to admit it. The real issue for me is how Gojo so readily accepts his death and acts like Sukuna could have won without 10 Shadow technique. This battle felt like a showdown between the two strongest fighters, going toe to toe on almost equal footing. Not like Sukuna was secretly holding back and way stronger. But with Gojo acting as Gege's mouthpiece, saying he isn't even sure he could beat Sukuna without Megumi's curse technique. It just unnecessarily downplays Gojo's strength. Not to mention in his final moments, Gojo didn't even think of his students, except to say that Geto should have been there to pat him on the back with them. This only highlights one aspect of Gojo's character, the one who keeps losing everything in life, rather than showing him as the strongest, most confident and arrogant sorcerer with the god complex. He went out with no regrets, but only because he believed Sukuna was stronger and that he did well enough for his level. This reduces Gojo's character to Yuta's level narratively, completely undermines his mentality and makes him look like a wimp. Even worse is Nanami saying that Gojo never cared about protecting people. and only used Jujutsu for his own pleasure, which is completely untrue. Gojo's whole motto is about not taking youth away from the young. That's why he saved Yuji and Yuta, tried to save Riko from her fate by betraying the higher-ups, and even adopted Megumi to save him from the Senin clan. During the Shibuya arc, he could have used a full domain expansion to wipe out all the disaster curses, but also kill hundreds of civilians, but he didn't, because guess what?
He does care!
Further points and conclusion. Furthermore, the emotional weight of this fight is missing. For example, the fight between Mahito and Yuji had far more emotional depth. However, from a technical standpoint, showcasing abilities, creativity and battle IQ, this fight was definitely superior. To wrap up, I personally would have preferred if Gojo had gone out like Nanami, with a final smile at the camera, placing his hope in his students to defeat Sukuna, even with the odds stacked against them. That would have been truer to Gojo's optimistic, trusting personality, rather than him feeling even slightly sorry for anyone. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.